Good afternoon and welcome to the XPEDIATOR PLC AGM Proceedings. That was a recorded meeting. Attendees will be in listen-only mode. Due to the company being under the Takeover Code, the company will not be responding to live questions during today's proceedings. I'd now like to hand you over to Gillian Wilmot, Non-Executive Chair. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the AGM of XPEDIATOR PLC. You will be asked to consider and vote. You have been asked to consider and vote on the resolutions below. Resolutions 1 to 8 are proposed as ordinary resolutions, and resolutions 9 and 10 are special resolutions. So, ordinary resolutions, number 1, to receive and adopt the annual accounts of the company for the financial year ended 31st of December 2022, together with the Director's report and the Auditor's report on these accounts. And the votes are?
So the proxies received, appointing the chairman, are 24,903,141 in favour, 26,000 against, and 4,411 withheld.
So that resolution is passed. Resolution 2, to approve the Director's remuneration report contained within the company's annual report and accounts for the year ended the 31st of December 22. Votes received so far?
So for resolution 2, it's 24,656,603 in favour, 272,538 against, and 4,411 withheld.
Okay, and we need to ask for a show of hands on that.
Those in favour? Those in favour? And those against?
So the votes in favour, but no votes against on the show of hands. That resolution 3, that Gillian Wilmot, having consented to act, be appointed as the director of the company. Votes, please.
Proxy votes are 24,614,197 in favour, 315,444 against, and 4,411 withheld.
Show of hands, please. In the room.
Those in favour?
Those in favour? Thank you. Those against? There were votes in the room for in favour, none against. That Michael Stone, resolution 4, that Michael Stone, having consented to act, be appointed as director of the company. Votes, please.
The proxy votes are 24,613,500 in favour, 211,367 against, 108,685 withheld.
Show of hands in the room, please.
Those in favour?
Those in favour? Those against? The show of hands in the room, those in favour was positive, those against, there was nobody. Resolution 5, to reappoint Charles McGurin as a director of the company.
The proxy votes are 24,612,750 in favour, 212,117 against, and 108,685 withheld.
Those in favour, please, show of hands. Those against, please, show of hands. There were no votes against and there were votes in favour in the room. Resolution 6, to reappoint Robert Riddleston as a director of the company. Could we have the proxy votes, please?
Proxy votes are 24,612,750 in favour, 212,117 against, and 108,685 withheld.
Thank you. In the room, please. Those in favour? Show of hands, thank you. And those against, show of hands. In the room, there were votes in favour, no votes against on the show of hands. Resolution 7, to reappoint Crowe UK LLP as the company's auditors to hold office from the conclusion of this meeting until the next general meeting of the company. And the rest of the resolution as set out in the notice. Please, could we have the proxy vote on resolution 7, please?
Proxy votes were 24,887,780 in favour, 41,423 against, and 4,411 withheld.
Thank you. And in favour, on a show of hands in the room, please. Thank you. And those against in the room, please. There were no votes against in the room on a show of hands and the votes in favour. So we come on to Resolution 8, which we will take as set out in the notice that was issued. And this is to authorise the company to exercise and allot shares. Could we have the proxy votes on Resolution 8, please?
Proxy votes were 24,662,251 in favour, 266,693 against, and 4,608 withheld.
And could we have a show of hands in the room in favour, please? And a show of hands in the room against, please. So in the room, there was votes in favour and no votes against Resolution 8. We now come on to special resolutions. So Resolution 9, I will take as set out in the notice of Resolution 9. Please could we have the proxy votes?
The proxy votes are 24,658,310 in favour, 270,831 against, and 4,411 withheld.
Thank you. Please could we have a show of hands in the room in favour? Thank you. A show of hands against. There were no show of hands against. There were votes in favour. Resolution 10, again, I'll take it as set out in the notice. Could we please have the proxy votes?
The proxy votes are 24,658,310 in favour, 270,831 against, and 4,411 withheld.
Thank you. Please could we have a show of hands in the room in favour? Thank you. And a show of hands in the room against. There were votes in favour in the room and no votes against Resolution 10, Special Resolution 10. I'm now going to close as we are unable to take questions because we're subject to the Takeover Panel Code, and hand back to Paul at Investor Meets Company. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for updating attendees today. On behalf of the Board of XPEDIATOR PLC, we'd like to thank you for attending today's annual general meeting. That concludes today's session, and good afternoon to you all.